nani nitsurete. The grammar of nani nitsurete is mean that as or in proportion to, with or as then something. So in Japanese, when you use the grammar of nitsurete, it means that you can use with the verb and noun only. But when you use with a verb, that you have to change the verb to be the additionally form. And for the noun, you can use in that form, nothing can be changed. After that, you follow by nitsurete, or you can say nitsure only. It just had the same meaning that as or in proportion to or with or as and then something. So don't be confused when you see nitsurete or nitsure. It just had the same meaning, but depend to the sentence that you are explaining, depend to the situation that you want to explain to another person to understand. So you can use in both nitsurete or nitsure. So to make more understand about how to use the grammar of nitsurete, the next we are going to see some example together. In here, the first sentence or the first example, we did say, Toki ga tatsu ni tsurete, ai ga fukaku naru. Toki ga tatsu ni tsurete, ai ga fukaku naru. Which means that love grows with time. Love grows with time. In this sentence, they say Toki ga tatsu, which means Toki is mean time, right? Tatsu is mean if we take time, right? Nitsurete, which mean when we change the time, right? Everything change with the time, right? If you do some job or some work, if you take long time to do that, you will be expert about that thing, right? So in this sentence, they talk about I is mean love. I ga fukaku naru is mean you have the really romantic about the love. Fuka is mean deep, right? Deep is mean romantic, something like this. So I ga fukaku naru, which mean if you talk with if you have girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever. And from the start, you are not romantic so much, but you can start by time. The time by time, that's been the time pass about 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 year. So the relation between you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend grow up, right? So in that time, they say Toki ga tatsu. Toki ga tatsu, that means you have to take time, right? Nitsurete is mean when the time pass away and your love is grow up with. So in the case in Japanese, you can say Toki ga tatsu nitsurete, ai ga fukaku naru, which means if you take time for your love, yeah, right? So your love will be grow up and bigger and great love, right? Something like this. So in this sentence, they want to explain that whatever if you take time, something will be better, and in your job you will be expert about that thing. Let's see the next example. 試験が近づくにつれて彼は不安になってきた。試験が近づくにつれて彼は不安になってきた。Which means that as the exam drew near, he became more anxious. As the exam drew near, he became more anxious. Which means that if you apply for some examination, right? Shiken is meant examination. For example, you apply for the JLPT in December this year, right? Now it's near the end of October, so it's just left only about 1 month, right? So when the time is near, In here is chikazuku ni tsurete is mean your time is short and the shortest one, right? That means it's near the situation that will happen. The situation in here is for the examination day. 彼は不安になってきたです mean he feel not good, right? Because maybe he doesn't study and he didn't study, or he haven't prepared enough for her or his examination, so he feel not good, so he feel that maybe he cannot pass the examination, right? So in the case like this, that means you can say in Japanese like 試験が近づくにつれて彼は不安になってきた, right? If you apply for the JLPT in December this year, so when the time passed, and that means you have no more time to prepare for the lesson, right? So if you have no time enough to prepare, that means you feel not good because you are not sure about that you will pass the examination or not, right? So in the case like this, that means when something happen and something will happen after that, right? So for you use the NITSURETE is mean the first situation happen and then the second situation will follow by the first situation. In here, our first situation is examination, right? And the second situation is mean the confidence or the person who will apply the examination, right? If you already prepare everything that you have to do, so maybe you have the confidence that you will pass, or you have the confidence that you already done your best, right? So when you use the grammar of NITSURETE, it means that you have the first situation happen and you have the second situation happen, and the relationship is between two situations that it have the meaning or the grateful of relationship, which means if the first situation happened like this and will cause the for second situation to be like this, right? So don't be confused about this. The next example, 子供たちが大きくなるにつれ、母親であることが楽になってきた。子供たちが大きくなるにつれ、母親であることが楽になってきた。Which means that as the kids get older, being a mother gets easier. As the kids get older, being a mother gets easier. That means in here they use the verb, right? In verb in here is naru, narimasu, or in dictionary form naru. Naru ni tsurete, tsure, right? That means 子供たちが大きくなるにつれ is mean when your children grow up, right, to be adult, or grow and to be adult slowly, right? Grow up time by time, right? So after that, 母親であることが楽になってきた. This means when your children grow up, right? So maybe you will be not so busy about to take care about your children, right? Because they are adults, so they know about how to take care of themselves. But maybe you have to pay some money, right, for school or dormitory, something like this. But actually, if your children grow up to be adult, that they know how to earn money, they know how to take care about themselves. So in that time, that means you might be comfortable, or that means you have to you are not so busy like when they was a child, right? You have to take care of everything for eating, milk, and everything. You have to take care of your children. So, but when the time pass and your children grow up to be adult, in that time that they can take care about themselves, so you just pay something money or educate about something like this. So it's lucky for you. So in this sentence they want to explain in a case like that. So they say 子供たちが大きくなるにつれ mean the first situation that mean the first situation that mean if your children grow up, right? And it will be called the second situation. In here, our second situation is mean 母親であることが楽になってきた is mean that if your children grow up to be adult or grow up time by time, after that, what will happen? The situation that happened in here that means the parents will be lucky for something, right? For take care of your children, right? So in this sentence, we want to explain something like this. So when you translate to be English, you just translate like as the kids get older, being a mother or being a parent gets easier or lucky for something, right? The next example. 人々がより長い生きするにつれて退職する年齢は変わるだろう。人々がより長い生きするにつれて退職する年齢は変わるだろう。Which means that as people live longer, the age of retirement will likely change. As people live longer, the age of retirement will likely change. That means actually in here they use the verb with the nitsurete. In verb they use here is mean ikisuru, right? Ikisuru. Ikisuru is mean live or have a long life, something like this. 人々がより長い生きするにつれて that mean actually people die for Japanese people die in 80 years old, right? Or 70 years old or 60 years old, but if the people more long life, so the retirement will be long, right? That means the government has to pay more money if they have a long life, right? So they will postpone for the retire age. Actually, the retire age is 60 or some people 60 or 65. I don't know exactly, but depend to the country that you live in, right? Some country is 65 that you retire, but some country is 60. Something like this. So when people have a long life, right, it's the first situation. And the second situation, if taishoku suru nenrei is mean the age of retirement, right, might be changed because what? Because you have a long life, so you should work more time, work more. You are the length of work should be longer. For example, you work from when you was 20, right? So you should work until you 65 or 70 or 80, something like this. So this means that for the first situation, that means if people have a long life, right? And it will be caused the second that they might change the age of retirement, something like this. 年齢退職する年齢 is mean the age of retirement. は変わるだろう is mean might be change or likely change, right? So when you use the grammar of nitsurete, it means that the first situation happened and you because the second situation happened like this in somebody's opinion or in your opinion. Thank you very much for watching my video clip and please help me subscribe my channel if you haven't. I hope to see you about learning Japanese grammar in the next video clip. ありがとうございました。